adofo ne etie fo amhwe me damu nyina amase ngidi se obadaroma ho ye se de menso me ho ye ade achi biem de na de bia ne emu nsensem nsefofo na de bia edi akoniaba
the pebia say woka because owura Johnson Asiedu Nketia allegedly for your meeting so owura John Dramani ma kwa ode ne fa so no mpe because enkofo eso mo boa no anaso no ankasa ne boys a odi omudin ekoma owura John Dramani ma no John Mahama emwa omo enne abaya also called John Hopkins School so a fake doctor and he appointed in the National Health Insurance and some of the dosso by enquire emra say nyame adoma ye bie nomination and say nyame adoma ne se mbe contest here obeba ababy gina me ato so aba na be the presidential candidate ama NDC but sir owura John Dramani Mahama be man the boys ni post nti and one salon munya say be boys ni nyesika emfam be support no and sem bebre na apie na sa meeting o yeyi eno na Kwame Nkrumah tikase enso akoka ho asem mumie nkotie Kwame Nkrumah tikase of OKFM
NDC mu a emza boba eboboba emza boba mo fa amadwene hweso ebobo na asem ni nyina ne se o Asiedu Nketia
chairman
aha o sugu ni yam serious
adai yabonu gumbe yesu
ye twan sakatoa na asemu ni nyina ene se sakatoa ana o ma sarando no so ye kazi sarando ani marugo ye twa na se agufom da bi ye twa na se agufom ma sarando no e ko from bofo na ene se 2028 wobeba abe printi as flag bearer
of the NDC.
Wow. Powers that be ni bebre nim. Omunim say they know say Asiedu obetimi. Na so obeba dia what is popularity num ni ade ne dia. Anye obia we are an ally of Chairman Asiedu Nketia bia no ye katew
ye you afri ho sakwa he
say ye ma post ni bi kura
wonye ska akra de ko support no
ade ko support no etino
any party mo so
etino de ba ku bi kura ko ba ni say appointment ni bebre ni di anim no
was ya bre party hu pa
because NDC is Asiedu Nketia and Asiedu Nketia is NDC.
Any yin is in chen.
Okay.
We da kwa menyini.
Na wodi e mame ma be mienu bi. Hwe wura bi na oil. Ye fe ne Williams oil. We former CEO of New Adubiasi Football Club.
Okay.
We Asiedu Nketia. E wo fa ase.
Okay.
We ani e wo fa be pre ade ne de a. The contractor no boss num ni ade ni nyina ya twam tinton sign
sa no mo de aba
twam enyu anonko the cousin baako ye fe no kwabena gei wono so no wo goy ya yi no ene ye de yi aba Edward Bawa I take over
ba no mo ya akira mo sansesan no
esesa no nti wono no kwabena gei no ye wura Asiedu Nketia wo fa ase any Williams no just say your sideline home or you business one year and woman you scack of one warfer. But bassa Asiedu wabre and I'm right 20 day no kojina deke mo Supreme Court no or the calculator ko no
2020
ya nti je ko poto o chi so de bom and na me kura me de ya me dwen ni se nyame kase obeyi no se flag bearer of the NDC obeyi no se nyame ka se wanyinu anye den onyino but ade ne de mo cha ne woni pa bi wo ho no se kwabena gei num ne ade a mo yi ni free goal na mo pa bi ama wo mo na wo so adi abre no ware odie abre en odie entimpani wedie part no mo ana mo yo na mo yo so a wo mo abre pen no na mo hye won anim nyam ama no aye pepepe it is the hint ni say ye Asiedu Nketia
o mo ya sa de o mo ne na ni
wo catch him where ono no share come say John Mahama be president ono no sa share come say owura John Dramani Mahama oba enima mu be the about first 5 months dollar ne be come the whole Ghana so to be in ho wo catch on say mama Jena no pokwa de ba wo wie na dwuma fa position ma be ma no fa position ma be ma no Jena no pokwa de ontimi be ye hwe mo wa ye mre se mu di agora mo de Jena enu ta mo de ne ba ya mo sad na ko back mo sad na ba because mu di agora o me ne sata mo so de ne bi ma me no wa ye mre ma me no wa wie na dwuma ma me ne je so be boa ma wi ni election wa wie fa position no ma be ma na e so de ma no no Nketia Prophet Clement testimony.
And now I'm told, even I don't want to even venture into some way, but they said the woman, the vice has also come, right? Okay. Sometimes when you just go online to pop up in your feed, it's like, oh really? I've not been active for some days. There is something I want to tell the government, if only they will listen. Are you here with me at all? I've never done the part 2 of Dear John. I know why I have not done it. Because in some baby don't be worried when we start speaking about these things, because even in Australia, Canada, US, UK, there are prophets and gatekeepers that are speaking to the nations. Yes. So that the people that are there will know what is about to happen, and they'll know where to put their money or the step to take. Are you seeing that? So we are very important. If I tell you that next week flood will enter your house by the Holy Ghost, that week you will not go and stay in that house. True of us. So we are very much important. Are you seeing that? Sir, I told Ghana last year, have a seat, so, thank you. I told Ghana last year that voter regime, the flood will take the whole people, right? Some of you have, I saw. Nobody mind the video. I gave updates 3 times. I won that. Obi unpacking no, they didn't mind me. A few months after, it became a national, it says a disaster. Whew. God sent a messenger to speak. I said I had a word for, you see, these new people, right? Yeah. See, like if I am them, let me give them a little thing, a little, not full, little. If I am them, this woman, the vice, I will let her go and rest. Are you listening to me? Should I speak to you? It's called what? Resign. I'll let her resign and put her part of the whatever senior ministers, and then bring a man. Minka. Okay, let me say small, and then let me go back to what I was doing. Let me say small. I say what?
Say big.
Well, say big. Let her resign. Let the vice president resign. Reason being that I came to say with all humility that God said the season of the woman has come to an end. I said it over 2 years ago. Not now. I'm making one.
Okay. No, we na yemu sheno. No two for Nyakopo tiemo. Prophet Clement testimony. O se papa kasa no quality. Catch Ghana for nyasema me na dwuma ba wiye. Le da yanko. Le da send
document the Ghana Medical and Dental Council have had an inquiry. I'm not sure why the inquiry was done, but somebody sometime this year wrote to the Ghana Medical and Dental Council asking whether this lady was a doctor. The Ghana Medical and Dental Council answered in the very strong negative that she is not a doctor at all. She had been seen on posters with President Mahama sometime last year doing an event. I have seen the posters. I've sent it to some important people that this is the problem going on. She's not a doctor and she was with President International Women's Day, something like that. So that story has been running. Okateshe did quite a bit, I understand, yesterday. And it's been running around. I think she's deep in social media and socialite. She does quite a bit of videos and presents herself as a doctor. It is said that she's not a doctor at all. This is a story on Modern Ghana says, fake medical doctor on GH1 TV exposed. Apparently, she has a television program on the television station and she presents herself as a doctor. She talks to people about medicine. She talks to people about prescribing drugs and all of that. We are getting more of the story. We'll deal with it on Thursday. On Thursday, we'll come with a big full throttle on what is a fake architect that young people do maybe we have to get a psychologist to explain to us, why will a young person present herself as a doctor, something she's never studied, something she doesn't know anything about, and then she says she's a doctor. There are also those who may be physician assistants, they say they are doctors, they say they are nurses, they say they are doctors, but this one has absolutely very little to do with medicine. Absolutely almost nothing at all. And she's an American citizen, and as well as a Ghanaian citizen. She lives in America. So people then decided that they're going to write to the American institutions of medicine. Again, the results came that she's negative. But this is the big story. Before we get into the details, this evening, she's been appointed by the government of President Mahama onto the National Health Insurance Board. Now, this is the story. The Minister of Health, Dr. Minta Akando, has sworn in the new board of the National Health Insurance Authority. Inaugurated in Accra on Tuesday, 27th May 2025, the board is expected to play a critical role in steering the NHIA towards greater efficiency, financial sustainability, and equitable healthcare coverage for all residents in Ghana. The 17-member board is chaired by Lawrence Ni Okante Ajete. I'm sure he'll be receiving a lot of applications. The members include Dr. Koku Awona Williams, representing the Ministry of Health, Dr. Alhassan Idrisu from the Ministry of Finance, and Francesca Atuluk from the Department of Social Welfare. Other members are Professor Samuel Kaba Akori, representing the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Abiba Sakari from the National Insurance Commission, and Dr. Bernard Na Hoffman from the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. It also includes Dr. Sadat Bawa, representing the medical and dental profession. So Dr. Sadat Bawa must have a lot to explain about why. Okay, let's move on. Dr. David Tete for the pharmacy profession, and Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, MP, representing the accountancy or finance profession. Legal expertise will be provided by Dr. Divine Indombi Banyubala. Then Dr. Ann Sansadeli and Dr. Zaneto Rawlins also serve on the board. Now, Ann Sansadeli is said to be is not a doctor here in Ghana at all. The Ghana Medical and Dental Council, I'm sure some of you who watch social media, you've seen the document going around. Today, we don't have much time, but we are indicating it to the government that, please, if this is true, she can be on any board she wants, but she should not be described as a doctor. You can't describe her as a doctor when she's not a doctor. Apparently, there are a lot of videos. We have our researchers. They've done the story. They research on all of that, including her social network and what she does and who are her accomplices, who are her partners. We're going to bring all that to you. I think this morning, a report was being made to the CID. Other reports are going all over the place. And then in the middle of that, she's sworn in. So when these stories were going out, we were also looking at the stories. Then suddenly, she deleted her Facebook page. Deleted her Instagram page. Some people felt that she wanted to run away, so they made a report to the authorities at the airport. They are looking at it. They say she's still in Ghana as of today. She's not going anywhere. It's getting very murky. Today, I know people call people in New York to go and get the document and then speak to the consulate. All of those issues going on. At the same time, the Ghana embassy was closed by a Black Wise opening on Thursday. We don't know whether there's any relationship with that. We don't know. But this is the story. We cannot allow that to happen to our Ghana and our children. Somebody comes and says, I'm a doctor, it's not a doctor. We hear that all the time. And it's prosecutable. It's a prosecutable offense. She actually presented herself in a hospital at Spintex Road, presenting herself as a doctor and dealing with patients. So all that record is there. And I think that this should be dealt with. Whether it's NDC, MPP, it doesn't matter. Whether she's MPP or she's NDC, it doesn't matter. This is fraud. If it is true that she's not a doctor, it's complete fraud. We'll get to the story. Today, we don't have much time. We have to deal with the Chief Justice. We'll get to the story later. Let's move on. How are you, sir? How are you doing? Now, I feel sorry for him. This is a minister who came and said that containers have been missing, trying to show that the government that his predecessor government was corrupt. And that's the language of the campaign. Language of the campaign is that MPP is corrupt. Akufo-Addo's government is corrupt. They take them out. So when they come in, they want to show that the government is corrupt. So one of the things he said, which I believed, was that the containers are missing. When he said that, I asked people that, do you have a number for Dubik Mahama? Oh, what's this for? Please. Why? Pain was right. And then, and so he then held press conferences and said that there are containers, ECG, containers that belong to ECG, that has ECG accoutrements in it, had been missing. He also alleged that what ECG people were doing and the MPP is that when the containers come, they refuse to clear it, and then it's given to a private person, and then ECG goes behind to go and buy the things from the private person. Things ECG has imported, say meters or some accoutrements, it comes to the port. ECG clear, they don't clear it. This is what he said, or this is a story that came out, a narrative. And then they go and a private Chinese man goes to buy it, or Indian man goes to buy it. Buy the containers from the port, because the port is disposing of the containers. They can't keep them forever. 2,000 and over containers. They can't keep them, so they're disposing of it. And then when they dispose of it to a private person, ECG then goes to a private person to buy it. It looked like robbery. It looked like real robbery. It looked like people had taken this country to the cleanest and they needed to be dealt with. And they were MPP people. All of us believed it. I believed the story when he put it out. So I called for the number of Muhammad Dubik, and I asked him. He said, do you have time, Paul? I said, I have time. He said, come and let me explain to you. So I went to see him. He told me, I said, is this the matter, Dubik? He said, this is the matter. I said, so what John Japo says? He says, no, it cannot be true. I said, why don't you then do interviews? Why don't you go on interviews? He said, can I come on Good Evening Ghana? I said, not yet. Do interviews on the Akan radio stations, because people need to understand this a lot before we can do Good Evening Ghana. So then he was on Asempa. I heard him. He spoke well. He said, containers have not gone anywhere. People started doing cartoons with their containers, putting wings on the containers. Containers have flown away, blah, 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 blah. Dubik, you've been vindicated. You've been vindicated. You've done well. The containers, the apostle is found. Let's get back to Jinapo's trajectory and let's see what happens in the trajectory. So this is 29th March 2025. Jinapo demands forensic audit over missing ECG containers. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapo, has revealed procurement breaches and potential corruption within the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, following the discovery that over 1,300 containers meant for the power distribution have gone missing from the Tema port. Everyone did not believe the story because Tema is an automated port. Tema is one of the best in Africa. How does 1,300 containers go missing and Gapoha does not know where the containers are? It sounded like Pilolo, as we said in the thing. It sounded like a cock and bull story. How? A container, 1,300 of them, they've been missing from Tema Harbor and we can't find it. And it's MPP people stole it. That's what the Minister of State said. Minister, sworn in, taking the oath. Minister of Ghana, he said that the containers have gone missing. He was able to say that because he's enjoying goodwill. They won an election, and so everything they say will be swallowed hook, line, and sinker. And I did swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Then comes 27th May 2025. So Jinapo sets up a committee with taxpayers' money. Sets up a committee, a so-called forensic audit committee, to audit where the containers have gone. The Gapoha does not know where the containers have gone. We need to set up a committee and pay them more money to find out where the containers have gone. For the committee to go and ask Gapoha that where did the containers go. For Gapoha to tell the committee that this is where the containers went. And that has to be paid for by taxpayers' money. Will people have questions to answer tomorrow? I don't know. But these are some of the things we do in government, whether it's MPP or NDC. It is crass. What is this? Gapoha is sitting there, huge, big institution. You are a minister. You cannot call the Gapoha directors and ask them that where is the container. You set up a committee to do a forensic. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Ghana, my happy home. 2,600. It says now he said 1,300. This one says 2,637 missing ECG containers traced at Tema Port. Investigation reveals. Investigators have traced 2,637 unaccounted ECG containers at the Tema Port. Chief of Staff orders evacuation and Energy Minister directs procurement reform amid ongoing investigations. So they found out that the containers were at the Tema Port. But that's the only place the containers will be because the containers don't have wings. They cannot fly. So minister says, I can't find them. And then the committee says, we can find them. They are not actually 1,300, they are 2,600. Okay. And then on 27th May, today, minister comes back, missing ECG containers. 2,300, twice the number of containers presumed to have gone missing, retrieved. Retrieved from where? Who should pay for this? It is dereliction of duty on the part of the minister. Dereliction of duty. That's what has happened. Why are we doing this to ourselves? You're a minister, run your show and do your work and put the lights on and deliver it, and Ghanaians will applaud you. Ghanaians are no longer MPP and NDC. They are common sense. Ghanaians have stopped being MPP and NDC. They are about common sense. Let's do the common sense work. So there are NDC people who are angry with John Jinapo tonight. They've called me. NDC people say, what's the minister doing? What's the minister doing? The other day, I heard Mugabe Mase, my friend, talking about John Janapo on his thing. He's a proper NDC guy. So what is Janapo doing over there? He's wasting our time. Every day he's complaining and he doesn't put the lights on. There are NDC people who are genuinely upset with these pillow games that we are playing with a country that is nearly 70 years old. 70-year-old country, we play these pillow games as if we are children. The containers are missing. I set up forensic audit.